Hello and welcome to the Churros y Tacticas podcast. It is September 16th. We are hours away from the opening Champions League games. We are, I guess, about 2 days away from Barcelona's opening Champions League game, and we are about 24 hours away from Atletico's Champions League game tomorrow. But no one really cares about Atletico. We're only here for Real Madrid and Barcelona, and we got some stuff to talk about. Obviously, an event-filled weekend, an event-filled week coming up, and Diego Lorin is here to join me, Kian Sobani, to do some churros y tácticas. What's up, campeones? What's up, churros listeners? And what's up, Diego Lorin? How are you, my friend?
Very good, my friend. Very good. Good to have you on the same time zone. I know you're over in the nation's capital, counting down, as you said, the start of the 20 Champions League campaign. Exciting stuff, man. Fucking Champions League is back, and I'm here for it, man. I can't even imagine what you must be feeling like. The buzz is in the air with this very interesting clash. Of course, Marseille coming to town. You guys kicking off your Champions League campaign against the team from the south of France. I always say that I don't have a second team. It is Barça and nothing else, and I genuinely mean that. I've never really supported other teams. I've never had jerseys of other teams other than Olympique Marseille because of an ex-girlfriend of mine. Shout out to Chiara. I know, we're on good terms. Her brother worked, I think he still does work for the club, and during our time got a bunch of merch while visiting the city as well. I've got plenty of good friends from there as well, so I have a definitely a soft spot for Marseille. And if I would have to choose my second club, they would be in contention to be definitely one of my second clubs. So I think they've been underwhelming for far too long. They managed to win their one and only European title in turned out to be quite controversial circumstances, but that's neither here nor there. But it would be nice for them to be able to get back to be able to compete with the team that they hate, of course, the most. They're Real Madrid, which is QSG. So hopefully we'll be able to see some fireworks tonight in the Bernabeu. But I'm assuming that this is going to be quite a walk in the park for you guys.
Wow. Oh, so many thoughts, man. First of all, that must be one hell of an ex-girlfriend for you to still support Marseille years later. Usually people would just want to cut off their ex. Any memories? Nothing. Nothing.
No need. We nothing but good memories.
Okay, great. I'm really happy to hear that. That's super random, but Marseille, walk in the park. Come on, man. You got to show Marseille some respect. I mean, this is a historically decently big club in Europe.
Yeah, underwhelming though, surely, and also now not getting off of a great start in League On. They've just been not impressive for far too long. And surely that's not an understatement.
Well, I will say this.
Or sorry, I should say, I'm not like it's not an overreach, that one saying that.
I don't think the league opening thing isn't bad. I mean, 2 wins, 2 losses. They have very notable players. They have De Zerbi, who wants to play football. I will just say this: walk in the park is a Kool-A side of view, probably. I watched their game against Lorient. Is it Lorient? Lorient. Because I'm French Canadian, I want to
Canadian. Man.
I want to say Lorient. Lorient got a red card in that first half, so it kind of skews what happened in that game, but it was a thumping, and they looked exciting. I'd be interested to see how this is approached by Marseille. I was at De Zerbi's press conference yesterday, as you know. I was pretty bored because it was just a really long, drawn-out press conference, and it wasn't my Real Madrid guys. And unfortunately, my flight arrived after the Real Madrid press conference, so I couldn't make that. But he was asked about, the way you play football. you want to have possession and all this because we all know how De Zerbi likes to play, and how much will that change in against Real Madrid? And he said, "Look, we're coming here to play. We're not going to come here to. We got to come here and show courage." So I predict it's going to be an open game, and a fun game for neutrals. So I love to see Real Madrid play an open game because when you face a little block, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
And when your own team's in a low block, it's not as fun. When two teams want to hold the ball and have possession in the final third, and you got good attacking players, it'll be fun. Hopefully, a fun opening night at the Bernabeu. Obviously, the most exciting thing is that Bellingham is back in the squad, about like 2 years ahead of schedule. So, well done, Jude. You gotta inject those steroids to get back. Totally
Hmm.
joking. I mean, it's just great to see Bellingham back. Camavinga's back. So I don't know if they'll play. Certainly they won't start. And I don't know. It'll be just a nice little cameo off the bench for Jude. I would hope, and hopefully, the ideal scenario, Diego, is Real Madrid are up, 3 goals in the second half. Bellingham comes in, and everyone's yeah. Bellingham comes in and scores. Nice little morale booster heading into that game against Espanyol on the weekend and beyond.
No doubt. I guess I was suppose so. Well, I'm really looking forward to obviously the Zerbi manager that was on the short list, I could say, to become the next Barca coach before the appointment of Hansi Flick. And I want to say even before when Xavi Hernandez was announced as well. So a manager that certainly plays the kind of football that us culés enjoy watching as well. I'm really more than the manager, though. I'm kind of keeping my eyes peeled on Obama Young, who is stuck around for another season. And we all know how he likes to score goals against the Whites. So I'm, kind of hoping for an upset here and maybe a thriller, nail biter, where the Southern French team can snatch up some points and get you guys off of a terrible start in the Champions League. That would be, quite the surprise, so to say. But like I said, I'm not keeping my hopes up. Um, what about the fans? Are there normally, the Loem fans are radical, fanatical ultras? Have they traveled? Are they thrashing the city right as we speak? Or is there a report on how many traveling fans will be
4,000.
joining? 4,000. Okay. Well, at least they'll be noisy.
Yeah. I only know that because somebody in the press conference asked De Zerbi yesterday, there's 4,000 fans, and what does that mean to you? So that's the only reason I know that. But otherwise, I would have had no clue that number exists. But
Keon doing his homework. You're thorough, my friend.
this
Give
was the
yourself
one
credit.
benefit of going to the press conference yesterday,
Yeah.
half asleep. It was like, oh, cool. I took note, 4,000. The other
Yeah.
interesting thing he said was that he had said earlier that he had watched the Real Sociedad game. So someone from Marca asked him, uh, what were your thoughts on the house and red card? Did you see that?
On the question or the play?
No, the question. Obviously, you
No,
saw the
no,
red
no,
card.
no. What did he say?
He said he wasn't that Housen wasn't the last man, and he doesn't understand why the referee interpreted that way. And
Okay.
then he brought up another example in League One. I forget who versus who that the same thing happened this week apparently, and that person also got a red card, and he didn't understand either of them. It seems so. Uh, red card interpretations, man. Red card interpretations.
Red card interpretations, huh?
Is this the transition that we've been waiting for?
That you've been waiting for, but you don't like to
I
talk
don't.
about refs or anything.
I
But
have zero interest in talking about the refs, but I know you love talking about the refs, so we can go there if you want.
I mean, you open Pandora's box. I can take out a cookie if you want. I have my opinions, but
There's a question for you right there on YouTube. Dev
of
says,
course there
Diego,
is.
what do you think of Housen's red?
I love it. All you guys that are here right now in this instance, that some of you called me out saying that I was hiding and why am I not saying anything, dude? Besides letting off some tweets, firing off some shots on the old Twitter, I also went live. I went live on the Twitter and went live on Instagram. I was live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Kick. on Facebook. So you guys had plenty of places and spaces to find me. And some of you did. Some of you guys came out, asked your questions, and respectfully, and I answered it in all respect. And I learned something new as I was researching. It was kind of an improvised ask me anything sort of session. So as the session in a relaxed way went along, I said that initially I also thought that the red card was harsh, and my interpretation of the play was that indeed Militao being the last man, it should have been a yellow card and it should have been a red card. However, while researching, I came across the reason as to why the red card was shown, and it was due to a reason, an abbreviation that was new to me, a term, dogzo, the dogzo zone. Have you heard of that? So, what the referees have, uh, so this is a tweet. It's a screenshot rather from the Spanish Football Federation, the CTA, what the referees have in their handbook, and it's the denying of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. The abbreviation, therefore, is DOGZO zone. Now, I'm trying to share it with you. I guess the image I cannot share. I can share with you the link. Yeah.
I have this I can share. Hold on. I'm just looking it up now.
Okay.
Dogzo.
Right.
Denying a goal or an obvious goal scoring opportunity.
Yes. So that is, it shows for those of you that are listening that are not privy to the image here. Although, Kian, if you want, the link I sent
There we
you
go.
has an image of what that zone actually is. If it's an area that is marked by the dotted line and it runs right past the halfway line, still in the sort of the semicircle, the half moon in the middle of the pitch, going all the way to into the 18-yard box, right into the small area of the goalkeeper. What shape is this? It's like a hecta. I wouldn't be able to
I
tell.
don't know
No,
if this is a shape. It's just, I mean, I don't know if there's a, I
I'm
never
sure
learned
it's
this
a
one in school. Just
geometrical shape. But
yeah, I
anyways,
didn't learn this one in school. I only learned circle, rectangle, hexagon, octagon, triangle. I don't remember this one.
right. Ditto. That makes two of us. And needless to say, this Zona Dogso, or the Dogzo zone, shows with red arrows where a referee would award a red card for a obvious goal scoring denial, right? So the denying of an obvious goal scoring opportunity, and where it is handed a yellow, and where nothing would be awarded, as in no red or yellow card violation. Now, you'll see that final in the final paragraph there, Kian, at the very bottom, it talks about avoiding or evitar. So yeah, avoiding a chance that manifiesta de gol. So like is an obvious goal opportunity with a deliberate foul outside of the penalty area, and you see that the red card is the punishment for that. Now the debate comes. Now the debate is then therefore surrounding whether or not this is an obvious goal scoring opportunity. And there's another screenshot or an image that I want to share with you, Kian, and maybe you can pull it up. It's the photo that shows that Courtois is just chilling outside of the 18-yard box, well off of his line. I would say around, how far is this? Maybe a meter or 20 away from Oyarzabal as he's pulling away from Hauser. Okay. Do you know the image that I'm talking about?
Maybe,
It's
but share it. But this
it's
is
kind of a
also the most entertaining tinfoil hat segment you've ever had. I'm just enjoying this. I just wish I had a popcorn.
okay. Let me see if I can share this in here. Can I share images with you through the chat? Is that possible?
Yeah, or just send it to me like you did with this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's not. It's not.
Just
It's
send it
not.
in the private chat.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing.
Or just share your screen. There should be a present button.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That much easier. There you go. Share screen. Thanks. So here we're seeing Courtois. You agree that he is very far from his line? Yes
Hold
or
on a
no?
sec. I got it. Hold on a sec. Hold on. I think I have to stop. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay. You see that Oyarzabal is pulling away from Huijsen.
Mm-hmm.
Militao effectively is the last man. He's still some distance away from Oyarzabal, but I have no argument.
Everybody take note of the account. This is the account in the top right corner that has brainwashed Diego all these years. Zona Blaugrana.
You mean the
Complete.
the
This is
savior
the cult. This is the
of
Diego
truth.
cult. This is it. Zona Blaugrana. If you
Kian,
guys want to
yeah,
infect
you can
your
you can
timeline,
argue
go
you can
to Zona
argue
Blau.
we can argue conspiracies. This is not. There's no conspiracy here. This is a picture. It's a screenshot.
Okay.
Or are you want to argue that this is manipulated somehow?
No, I'm not arguing this is manipulated,
Okay.
but
So
I want to let you finish though.
thank you.
Sorry. Go
So
ahead.
the fact that Courtois is so far off of his line, that overrides, according to the rules, the fact that Militao is the last man standing. Okay? The fact that Courtois makes this a obvious goal scoring opportunity for a player as talented as Oyarzabal, I think you would
Why
agree.
does Courtois make it an obvious goal scoring opportunity? By
Because he's
closing
so
the
far
angle?
from his line.
So
Because
what does that matter? In fact, if anything, you'd argue that he's there to close him down and deny goal scoring opportunity.
I think that if Courtois would be in between his sticks, it would make it less of a goal scoring opportunity.
No,
Because
I don't think so.
Oyarzabal can
Because the
easily
goal
chip.
of the goalkeeper in the high line is to sweep up and prevent breakaways, which is what he's doing.
I
To
think
close the angle. So if both Militao and Courtois are going to be closing the angle, how is that more of a goal scoring opportunity?
because I think that Oyarzabal has plenty of talent to put a ball
He
over
didn't even have control
Courtois.
of the ball there. Like,
well, because Huijsen is pulling on him.
yeah, well, he didn't have control of the ball yet, and Militao was closing in on him. This is crazy talk. Come on. By the way, you do know that the CTA came out and said this was not a red card, right?
Dude, the CTA has been licking Real Madrid's ball sack forever, and this season has
Oh,
been
is
a
that why they
disgusting
said
play.
Balde? Come on, man. Come on.
Come on. Like the CTA has been coming out saying that Balde's handball is that he was trying to intentionally block the handball.
They also said the same thing about Gouler's handball, as you and I discussed.
But they haven't said anything
what?
about
Okay, you
that.
don't like the CTA. If it comes out in favor of your argument, then we listen to them. But if not, then we don't listen to them. Come on, man. At some point, like Archivo VAR, your favorite Twitter account, when they agree with you what you're saying, they're a neutral account. When they don't, they're not a neutral account.
You as well, Kian. You as well. You agree and not agree. You flip flop on Archivo VAR all the time.
I don't.
I am saying
I don't let them form my opinions at all. Actually,
what initially looked to me like it was a harsh red card, the fact that Courtois makes this more of a debate, I can see why the referee might have wanted to pull out a red card in this situation, or why he would feel he's justified to pull out a red card. And the CTA saying that
Courtois'
it's not a red
positioning doesn't make this more of a goal scoring opportunity. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't understand that argument at all.
Because Oyarzabal has plenty of talent to either dribble it past Courtois or shoot the ball over it, like lob him, and that's easy, bro.
No, first of all, by the time he would get control of the ball in this situation, it would be around here. I don't even know if you can see my mouse. Probably not. It wouldn't be at the moment he's in. Also, Courtois' positioning is not final. He has a choice to either come out even more or get back in and just close the angle in his box. And Militao has not even come over yet. Like, come on, man. This is crazy talk. Come on, man.
I'm giving you the other.
No matter how extreme and obvious the call is, you still don't like. There's no backing down, man. It's insane.
No, I'm just saying. I'm giving you the other side of the argument. I'm not going to come out here and piggyback over
now,
Real Madrid.
Truth? Now that we have both sides,
making a 2-hour document and 2-hour movie that they're going to present to FIFA and UEFA and cry about all facts, right? Except for leaving out all of the other times that they got favored. Come on, man. It's
Got it.
again, it's the ones that get favored
Okay.
the most. They're crying the
You
loudest in this occasion, in this situation. You know,
the
Courtois
crying the
is
crying
fucking
doesn't
up
make it
over
right or
here.
wrong. The crying is a
Courtois
different
is fucking
conversation.
up over
The
here.
crying
You
is
should
doesn't make it
come on.
right or wrong. It's a different conversation altogether. So now that you presented both sides, what is the truth?
I think that there's a case for a red card to be pulled here. Look at the rules. Look at the dogzo
I
zone.
have,
It's
bro. Just because
look what
there's
it
a
says.
foul in the dogzo zone doesn't mean it's a red card. There's plenty of fouls in the dogzo zone. By the way, all that is saying is that dogzo, it can't be a red card offense. It can't be a deniable goal scoring opportunity if it's outside the dogzo zone, right?
You can, yeah.
It can outside the dogzo zone.
Absolutely. Evitar una ocasión manifiesta de gol mediante una falta deliberada fuera del área, outside of the penalty zone. There's an arrow pointing to
Not the
exactly
penalty zone, the
roughly where
dogzo zone.
outside. Well, the dog zone goes into the penalty area, so it goes from out to in.
What is your interpretation of is the what is the what is the dogzo zone? Because
Well,
that's the
it's
denying of a goal.
whatever
You're saying
is listed here. So it's the edges of the 18-yard box
no, I
going
understand the parameters, but what is the
uh,
purpose of it, of the dogzo zone?
to show an area where a player can generate or be in a situation of being in an obvious goal scoring opportunity.
Right. I know. My question to you is, if you can be in the dogzo zone anywhere, so then why have a dogzo zone?
No, but you're not really everywhere. It shows exactly sort of
I know. So I'm asking, if you're outside the dogzo zone, is
yeah.
it a dogzo situation?
I suppose according to the handbook, no. Like it's quite
Well,
clearly marked where the
right.
Dogzo zone is.
Okay.
Right.
So that was my point. Is that if you're outside the dogzo zone, it's not a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, right? They
Not
set
an
this
obvious, not
parameter,
an obvious one.
right? So
Hmm.
that was the point I was making.
Okay.
So then once it's in the dogzo zone, then you have to interpret whether it was a denial of a goal scoring opportunity or not, because you would agree there's thousands of fouls in this area every game,
Oh,
right? Every day.
100%. Of course.
So
It
the
majority
dogzo
of the action
zone
takes
does not mean it was a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, is my point. Now this frame is
the
probably just on the
situation
edge
though
of the
does make it that.
right.
The situation that is presented here.
This frame probably puts you like on the fringes of the dogzo zone, or maybe just inside, but it's still obviously not a goal denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Like, think about also when you're Dean Howson in this situation, they teach you like at the elite level, tactical fouling is a very, very important thing in every system. He looks around, he sees where Militao is, he sees that Oyarzabal is far away from goal, and he makes a calculated decision. I'll take the yellow here. Um, and to get punished for a red card in that situation is absolutely insane. And that's why the CTA also came out and said, yeah, this was not a red card. And every single person who's been talking about it, except for obviously, the very, very esteemed, highly respectable Zona Blaugrana, of course, Mr. Tinfoil Hat, might not see it that way, in which case we submit to his wisdom. But come on.
It's not everybody.
Okay.
It's in your echo chamber. I understand how it
The
might seem
Zerbi is
like
in my
to
echo chamber
everybody.
too. Is the Zerbi in my echo chamber?
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you
Okay.
want to go based on that, then Messi is definitely the undisputed GOAT because the entire footballing world deems it that way, except for Kian.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so
you're right. The entire
no,
the entire footballing
the
world
vast
sees Messi
majority,
as the
without a
GOAT. Yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
Kian, this is an argument that allowed me to at least question why the referee would deem it a red card situation. Again, I've no shame in saying that I wasn't aware of the Dogzo zone, the fact that this does exist, the fact that you see Courtois way outside of his penalty area, and a player like Oyarzabal, who, with all respects to him, has the talent enough to take on.
Do you know how
Uh,
old Oyarzabal is and how slow
do
he
you know
is
how good he
after
is?
his injury?
You don't think that he's able to go around or lob even a Courtois from that with
No,
that amount of space?
I,
Of
I
course he
think
can.
I think he, just like any other player, is capable of doing that. But you don't look at the name of the back of the striker's shirt to make a judgment on a red card. So you're telling me if that was me instead of Mikhail Oyarzabal, that's not a red card because I can't score from there?
No, I'm just saying the fact that it is Oyarzabal makes it an obvious goal scoring
How
opportunity.
about that? Let's make it Haaland. It's a red card for sure now.
Yeah, Haaland could definitely score from there as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're basically going to give out a red card based on how talented the striker is. It's Messi. It's your goat. He's going to score from there. You know what? I think Messi, if he gets fouled in his own half because his name is Messi, that's a red card. That we can't make that call based on who the striker is.
the fact that he's in the dogzo zone says that if a deliberate foul is committed to avoid a chance on goal, an obvious
No,
goal
not a
scoring
chance on
opportunity,
goal. A clear goal
an
scoring
obvious.
clear and obvious, which that was not. Not a chance on goal.
I
That was
think
not.
that's debatable. I think that's debatable.
All right. So then surely you would
I
admit
don't think
that
it says black and white.
then Christensen's
Initially, I thought
foul
it
on
was black and white.
Christensen's foul on Arribas against Almeria, same situation. Then that's
Sure,
got to be a
maybe.
red card.
I mean, if I see it, then yeah, sure, maybe.
You
I
haven't
don't
seen
know
it?
which one.
You
Is
haven't
it
seen that. Come on.
which one?
Christensen's foul on Sergio Arribas in the Almeria game
Go
last
show it
season.
to me. Show it to me,
Well,
my friend.
I'll send it to you, but I can't show it for copyright reasons. But I'm just I mean I shouldn't be in awe, but I'm in awe. I'm in awe because I've seen this with you before. I I don't know what else to say.
My
I can
friend,
I
we've
can
been
just
doing
laugh
this for
about it.
8
I
years.
suppose I'll just laugh.
When have you and I ever agreed? How many times have I sat here and defended something that was so obvious to me, and you go in the contrarian, in the
I'd
contrary
love to hear
direction
which one. I'd love to hear.
all the time, bro?
Okay,
Don't play this game.
I just put it in the
It's a
private
two-way
chat.
streak. Ah, thank you. I was looking it up. Okay.
Never forget. Is the Inter Milan fan here? Inter Milan fan, if you're
No,
here,
no,
type
no.
it in the
Also,
chat.
that you are too sly, too cunning, and conniving. It's again, it's the Canadian demeanor that you fool people into thinking that you are more neutral and less biased. But that is the
Inter Milan
danger
fan,
of
where
too
are
much
you?
money.
He
The
confirmed.
danger.
Inter Milan
I
fan
wear my heart
confirmed
on
I
my
was less
sleeve
biased. He
because
confirmed it.
because you're very good at manipulating, but you don't manipulate me
Hear that,
anymore,
Inter
my
Milan
friend.
fan? Diego is saying you're being manipulated. I personally think you're
100%.
extremely intelligent and you think for yourself and you can just see the truth.
Okay, so here we go. Christensen, fine. Perfect example. Look at where the lines are of the Dogzo zone and look where Christensen commits the foul. That is not in line with, it's just outside of the Dogzo zone. That's outside. It's not, if they would run straight, they wouldn't run into the 18-yard box. They would be outside of the 18-yard box. Now look at the Dogzo zone and look where the lines are. It is all in line with the
Maybe
18-yard
we just
box.
have, maybe literally we have different eyes. I mean, the funny
Yours
thing
are
is
wrong.
Arribas is literally even closer.
He's not in the dog zone. He's not in. He's
I
outside
would
of
say
the
he is. I mean, actually, he's pretty much just on the line or on the outskirts of the line,
on
just
the
like Housen was.
outside of the line. Correct, Ian. That is correct.
Yeah, but it's the same parameter that I have for Housen as well.
He is closer to the goal, but further out on the wing. That is
I don't
not the
know
dog
about that.
zone.
I don't know about that.
That's exactly what it is.
He's wider, but he's higher. In Housen's
He's wider.
case, he's deeper and more narrow, but just outside the zone. And I would say like they're both kind of on the line. Do you realize how silly this entire conversation is?
You wanted to have it. Like I'm
I mean,
just
I
having the
wanted to
conversation
have
that
it,
you
but I
want to
didn't.
have it.
I wanted
Let's
to have
move
it.
on, man. Let's
I actually
like
didn't want to have it. This was asked by our one. This was asked by Dev, and you had the presentation ready. I didn't even ask the question. Dev asked the question,
because
and
Madridistas
you were
came
like,
out yesterday
"Anchorman, I'm
and
not
asked me
prepared."
about
Pull
it.
up the entire scroll. You were so
Hey, we
prepared
were
for this
supposed to have
conversation.
this podcast yesterday. I came prepared. Madridistas came and asked me on
All
yesterday's
right.
stream.
Well, I'm glad you wanted to have the conversation. I didn't, but we all get to see.
You did it. You brought it up.
I did not. Dev did. Blame it on Dev.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on. Yeshai Thaye says, "Are Barca back?"
I think that's for you, man.
How is it for me?
Well, it's a super chat and on your channel. I've
Oh,
decided super chats on Kian's channel. I'm not answering those. You can go and do those. Anybody want a super chat? Go to my channel, and I'm happy to answer anything. Kian.
All right. I think Barca looked great on the weekend. I only saw the first half. I think Valencia are in shambles. And I think they look good. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think Fermin Torres looked great. Are they back? I guess we'll know. We'll know
Fermin
soon.
Lopez, you mean?
What did I say?
Fermin Torres.
Yeah, that's what I meant. What's going on
Fermin
with
Lopez. What did you think of Rashford?
it's okay, I guess.
I was saying that for me, even though it wasn't a brilliant game or anything, definitely his best game in a Barca shirt. And I'm wondering if Flick is onto something. So 4 games in now. This was
Yeah.
his second start. I wonder if Flick is slowly but surely getting the best out of the Englishman and building up his confidence. So far I kind of felt like he looked quite lost, a player that is a little bit lost in translation, maybe trying to figure out not just the system, the culture, his teammates, what the coach wants from him. But in the game against Valencia, he looked the part. It looked like he was ready to take on defenders. His dribbling was better. His acceleration was there. Taking on players, he didn't shy away. Obviously, he got the assist for Rafinha as well, but he just looked at it like a player that is starting to gel. And I wonder whether or not we're going to see him start more games, and if Flick is able or ready to, yeah, I guess get the best out of a Rashford.
What's going on with Lamine Yamal? Just a groin injury?
That's I don't know. Quite frankly, the doctors are obviously there's a dispute taking place between club and federation, the Spanish Football Federation, that say that they did communicate to Barça about that they were going to infiltrate him, so to speak. That Lamine Yamal was aware. That Lamine Yamal said that he wanted to play. The club stance is that he wasn't fit to play. That they had communicated that. I don't know if you were there when I interviewed we've had Andrea Orlandi on several times, on 2 or 3 occasions. I know once I had him on alone. I don't, but at some point the topic was performance enhancement drugs, and also these cortisone shots like Voltaren and anti-inflammatorios and stuff like that. Saying that that's quite a standard, but also very dangerous practice, because as a player, obviously you just play through the pain. In fact, you don't feel pain anymore for the time being, and injuries that are nagging at first can become exponentially worse, and that's quite dangerous, especially as a player ages as well. So it was kind of surprising to me to hear that the Spanish Football Federation was so casual when applying these Voltaren shots to Lamine Yamal, a player who, yes, is still very young, but of course, why are you forcing this player when you have a track record of injuring players for the entirety of a season when they arrive from the club to play with the Spanish national side? Where's the precaution? Where's the precaution for players that are not quote unquote yours? I mean, the clubs pay the salaries. The national football teams do not. So I found it negligent. I found it, obviously I stand with the club in that having Lamine Yamal out for these games is not detrimental, but it's a massive setback, especially so early on in the season. And what precedent do you set moving forward as well? I don't know who was right. Obviously, they will themselves will know who was in the right, what had been communicated, and between who. But I think it's a dangerous precedent that they're setting by just simply saying, here's a shot. Now go and run, my boy. I don't like it, and obviously he's going to be out for this next upcoming clash. They're saying that he might not be available for Getafe neither. It's a question mark, but he won't play against Newcastle for sure.
Well, on that note, well, just a couple of notes here. Joshua Madrid says, for a Madrid podcast, we are spending too much time, a lot of time speaking on Barca and their super weird hot takes on Madrid. Can we turn back to speaking about the match? Two things. One is that I'll be at the Bernabeu tonight. I would promise you guys a lot of content, including post-game podcasts, Marseille at the Bernabeu. The second thing is this one is actually not a Real Madrid podcast. This is our weekly segment called Churros y Tácticas. This one is not a Real Madrid podcast. And finally, Diego, Yeshai Thaye on your super chat. He's back
Really?
on D Spot super chat.
No.
Thoughts ahead of the Newcastle game.
How can you see? I don't trust it. How can you
You
see
can see
that?
because there's literally you can see it on your own channel. You don't need me to tell you this. It tells you which super chats come from where.
Okay. Thank you, Yeshai, for your generosity and your contribution here to the humble channel that is D Spot. Newcastle is going to be a real test, man. They're clearly a side that are aspiring to cause some damage on the European stage. They're another prime example of a state-owned club now that are just able to tap into infinite amounts of funds, even though they're not able to hold on to their superstars. I think the absence, the departure of Isaac would have been a massive blow, a big hit to them, especially so late in the winter transfer market. Kian, who did they replace Isaac with, actually? Do you know? I mean, I'm just quickly
is it
here
that
reaching
Waltermaid kid?
Nick Waltermaid.
Yeah.
You would assume that for his price tag, but he's media punta though. He's like more of a midfielder. Well, anyway.
Well, he played as their striker against who did they beat? Wolves.
Okay. Look, I think it's going to be a big test.
And he scored, by the way.
We'll see on Thursday how this English side will be prepared to host Football Club Barcelona. It's at home for them. It's away for Barça. So, traditionally, of course, English clubs at home with their fan base behind them, they're very, very strong. It's intense. It'll be aggressive. It'll be fast paced, and it'll be entertaining to watch. I have no doubt about it. I don't really know what to expect because I don't know how this Newcastle side is shaping up so far. I talked about Marseille being off of a slow start in the domestic league so far. Well, the same can be said about Newcastle, picking up just 5 points in 4 matches so far. So not a good start for them. But then again, they're trying to figure their stuff out. Surely Eddie Howe will have his work cut out for him as the season goes. And, the same way that this is a big test and the biggest test of the season so far for Barça, it will be for them as well. So I expect them to take this serious. Who are they playing this weekend? Sorry, the game is on Thursday, so it doesn't even matter. Sorry. I'm expecting fireworks, man. I'm excited. I'm just excited for the Champions League to be back, really. So the fact that we can play one of the new kids on the block, as in, this new money type team, see where they're at. I expect Barca to come out guns blazing, and I don't know what do you think? What can we expect from Newcastle?
I don't know. I don't have much an opinion on it because I haven't watched Newcastle this season. I really don't know. Obviously, the Isaac departure hurts. I think Barca's defensive line still has question marks without Inigo.
Did you like Eddie Garcia?
I think Eric Garcia has been pretty good.
I think so too.
Ever since last season, actually.
Mm.
But I think their problem is more the collective, and that's why I dubbed Valencia terrible, because they couldn't even make a pass together to even enter Barca's half, let alone final third, or let alone get any clear-cut chances. So, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not qualified enough to talk about Newcastle. That's the truth.
Yeah. Look, I will say that, but we needed a game like the one we played against Valencia ahead of the start of the Champions League campaign. So far, our season has been not impressive as well. So, coming back from the international break where Rafinha had to travel a lot and play many minutes as well. Obviously, other players on the Spain team did so as well. The fact that normally coming back from these international breaks is the restart is quite lackluster, if you will. but to
Yeah.
see the team connect so well, to play the best game of the season so far was.
Uh, I can't believe how quickly it's past 4 o'clock now.
I just
Um,
noticed that. I did not notice that
so
before.
that happened real quick. I swear we had like 30 minutes still, but we don't. We do have really quick super chat. Nishlesh Patel says, Diego, would you have learned the same rule if this was a Barca red card? Or
I would have expected. I would have no doubt that Keon would have come out with the exact same explanation
I
as
wouldn't.
Keon
I'm not
so
biased
often
like
does.
that. Nishlesh
Hey,
also says, so many such tactical fouls happen every day in this dog show zone. They always get a yellow card. The play becomes an obvious goal scoring opportunity when it's the last defender, hence the red card rule, which is not the case here. I honestly don't know how much either of us have to say about it at this point. Diego,
Courtois
concluding
being off of
thoughts?
his line, Nishlesh. Read into it. The Courtois, the fact that he is off of his line,
I mean,
overrules.
I mean, Courtois off his line, like, a goalkeeper off his line is not in the rules as increasing the goal scoring opportunity. It's not in the rules.
It is though. It is though.
The goalkeeper off
It's
the line part.
stipulated in the rule. No, I'm not saying that it's
Okay,
stipulated in the rule book,
well then.
but you have to say
So the
that
dog so
Courtois
part
being
is in
so
the
far
rule
off
book,
his
but the
line.
goalkeeper off the line is not in the rule book as increasing the goal scoring chance. Just so we're clear on that.
What are you expecting tonight?
Well, I thought that first half against Real Sociedad in Anoeta was the best half we played all season. And
I thought Madrid
expecting,
looked good as well.
yeah, and then obviously the second half went to shit. But I'm expecting us to build on that. I'm expecting it a very electric atmosphere, and I'm expecting some fun. I'm expecting to have a good night in Madrid tonight. I'm excited.
Are you enjoying Xavi Alonso ball?
I am. I like the direction it's headed in. I think that he had so much to fix, and he said that you can't fix it all at once. I think he's prioritized fixing the defense and increasing the press. He's gotten Mbappe to work his ass off. I never thought I'd see the day where Mbappe is like sprinting and hustling and and organizing a press. Mbappe looks literally unreal right now. Like, this is like the version of Mbappe I was terrified of facing when he was with PSG. Like, I was like so scared of playing against him. So he looks great. I'm just excited to have Jude back. I like Xavi ball in the direction it's headed in. I think it's baby steps. I think every week we'll see one little detail added that has this team improving. It's not going to all happen at once. And I hope that by the time the important part of the season rolls around, like, March, April, not to say that it's not important before that, but like when the knockout stages roll around, we see this polished a little bit. So I like the direction it's headed in, no question.
Just a little bit over a month ago before the Clásico, folks. Time,
Yeah.
as we're seeing on this podcast, is moving fast. It is my sincere and sole intention to be at the event if Kian can get me accredited for the game. So
What do you mean? You can't get accredited?
I don't know. Through managing Madrid, I can.
I don't know if we can. I don't know. Let's talk about it off air. Can't you just get back into Barça Blaugranes territory?
Dude, I never got accredited for Barça Blaugranes. They are not managing Madrid, my friend.
Well, you
It's
never
okay.
asked.
No, I did. I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you're basically Figo to them.
Yes.
You literally are Luis Figo.
Guys, this is not a Real Madrid podcast. Do not make that mistake. Culés, we need you. Follow us. Follow us on X. Follow us on churrosytacticas.com patreon.com/churrosytacticas, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well that we're streaming from right now, DSpot, youtube.com/DSpot. Culés, let's unite. I need my minions as well. I need my minions to champion me around like they do with their Lord and Savior over here on my left. Is very good looking, Kian Sobani. Do it. Come on, Culés. We need to make this a more even playing field. So join us. What?
Please
Sorry, you
do.
want to say something?
No, that's it. Just going to echo what you said, and I'll say that you guys who want more Madridista content, I got you guys tonight at the Bernabeu. I'll do the post game show. It won't be live after the game because I got to record it from the stadium. Then I'm going to publish it later, and I'll see you guys later. That'll be free on YouTube. And if you guys want some behind the scenes, you can follow me
Nice.
on IG as well. I'll be active on the stories at Kiyonso, Kiyanso. Pretty easy. Figure it out. Follow me there. Follow Diego too at Diego Lorin. Is that right?
Yes, but I do not need more Madridistas following me. I cannot believe that I have more Madridistas following me than culés. It's shameful and it's annoying.
Just be
Culés,
thankful, man.
a
Just be
cry for
thankful.
help.
Awesome. We got to go. Thanks,
All
guys, for
right.
tuning in. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
spending some time with us. Thanks, Diego. And we'll see you
You.
guys on Thursday, patreon.com/churros y tácticas. Almost forgot to tell you guys that. Submit your questions if you're a patron, and we'll see you there for the bonus episode. Peace.